Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Detroit Cast. Mike and Jay, shalom. How are you, Jay?
Very well.
Yeah.
You?
I've been better.
Oh, no.
Yeah, the hits
Well.
just keep on coming, Mike.
But that'll be transparent to the listener, right?
No.
No?
It's my life. I got to share my life, my daily existence with the audience. That's what I
Gotcha.
do. You know what I mean? No, we're getting a late start today, as I had a emergency on my hand. That's why, I lost a tooth years ago, and I had a root canal. A root canal. You don't want a root canal in these teeth here, these little guys, like your vampire teeth,
Yeah.
your fangs, because they're weaker. They've got little tiny little root things, and so that tooth was weaker. And then I got headbutted by Izzy, and the tooth popped out, and
Yeah.
they put a temp in because I'm rich and I don't want to go through the costs of, doing it right. And so it stayed put for a while, and then it fell out again.
So you had the little stump for the crown, but it was a temporary crown?
Yes.
Gotcha.
And then because you're familiar with teeth work.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not good.
A bridge.
You do. That's what they did with this. So they did a temp bridge where they drill into the good tooth and they post it in there. So today I'm like, this tooth is going to fucking fall out. I can feel it like.
What'd you bite? A caramel?
I didn't bite anything. It's been bothering me for a while. I playing with it with my tongue. You know how that is. And so today it was just like.
Oh, no.
And it was just like, oh, shit, that's going to fall out. I can't be in the middle of a show and have a fucking tooth fall out of my head. So they squeezed me in today, and it was like, I want to do an x-ray on that really quick. And they do, and they're like,
It's compromised.
it's compromised, that one. And so when this tooth comes out, this one's coming out. And they're like, yeah.
So you
this
need
is
two
not,
implants.
This isn't bridgeable anymore. I was like, I'm like, so I need to do two fucking.
A two-tooth bridge.
And she goes, well, it works really well to do one post implant with two teeth on it.
Ah.
And I was like, oh, okay, so that'll save some money. This is going to be, it sounds cheap, right? This sounds very, very cheap. And so it's like, dude, the process of shit that is coming up. Like, I have to go to one of those dental surgeons or whatever and have them drill into the fucking bone and put a new, to have a permanent post in there. And then both teeth are gone, and I have to wait 3 months for the bone to wrap around this post and see if it accepts it.
Oh, man.
So for 3 months, I have to wear
You have a flapper.
That's what they called it.
Yeah, it's like a retainer with a tooth on it.
Yeah, or they can do like some Invisi-Seal that has two teeth on it. I'm like, this all sounds
I've had
awesome.
a flapper. You get used to it.
I was like,
You can look Kentucky real quick if you want. You can just go, mwah.
yeah. So that doesn't. I've never worn a retainer,
Yeah, I mean, it's wearing a retainer. It does bug you, but you get used to it.
dude.
Would you say a few months with it?
3.
Yeah, you'll be all right.
Really? How long is it going to take me to
You
talk
used to-
normal or eat?
Yeah, you can take it out when you do the show.
Oh my God. I was just like so deflated. I'm sitting there. I'm like, no. Like when they go, oh yeah, you got a root canal, you got a crown. And it's just like, okay, whatever, But this is like, no, I don't know.
It'll be all right.
Fuck, it's not going to be all right. It stinks.
It'll be all
And
right.
I've got that thing now where they put it back in temporarily. So hopefully this lasts 3 years before I have to deal with it.
Did they tell you that the hack of being able to put toothpaste in there and shove it up there will last a day or two at least?
Really?
To get
No.
through it. Yeah, should it fall out again, put
Toothpaste?
inside it, jam it up.
I'm laying there and I'm like, where's my gas? I need my gas. And
They're like, sir, you're not even going to feel anything. We're just,
they're-
we're just putting a piece of plastic back on a post of a tooth, dude.
oh, I got my gas.
Did you? Why?
Well, here's why. Well, they had
It's
to do.
infected and shit?
No.
Oh, God.
Like they couldn't.
Ah.
How they figured out there was a problem. Like that's temporary glue or whatever they used to stick it in there originally, and that should release really easy. If it's like, they should be able to just pop that out, and it's not giving out because the other tooth's going, fuck you, it's mine, my tooth, let go, get out of there. And they're like, that's how they knew, like, this thing's cracked all the way through probably, and the whole thing's gonna come out. So, and I was like,
So they gassed you up proper and then they tugged it?
yeah, well, they're wiggling it, and I'm like, where's my gas? And she's like, well, we're just trying to decide if we're going to do any work.
Sir, you don't need to. Yeah, you don't need to get baked out of your mind right now.
Her quote was, "Sir, we're just trying to figure out right now if we're going to do the work." I'm like, "You're doing the work. Gash me." And like, fine. And then they had to, thank God, because then they go in there and it's like, dude, I'm there for 40 minutes as they're fucking like cleaning it out or whatever the hell they're doing. So I got to sit there and gash up good and proper.
You can drive after gas? I've never had it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Once they shut it off, it's like, hey, turn it on. You're
It's immediate, huh?
Immediate. Yeah. It goes away quick. But you can be a little cloudy. She's like, do you feel normal again? I was like, she's like, I'll just leave it on oxygen. You just sit there for a couple minutes. You just sit there breathing oxygen, and then, yeah, you're fine.
Nice.
Totally fine. So leave there, and just like, now I've got this shit taste in my mouth.
Oh, yeah.
Do you know that thing where it's just like anything they do, and I don't know what they're using. At one point, she goes, "Don't move your tongue. It's terrible tasting." I was like,
Yeah, some kind of adhesive or something.
That is the thing about the dentist. Those parts where they're in, and I get it, they're doing what they do, but they're in your mouth doing all that shit, and they're just like, okay, now don't move, don't swallow, and it's like all of a sudden now it's like, fuck, I want to swallow. Like, I just
the first time you chewed tobacco, it's like don't swallow that. You're like
turn green and puke.
trying your best not to swallow, thinking about not swallowing.
Yeah.
it'd be better if they just didn't say anything.
Yeah.
I probably wouldn't like blink or something, but they're like, don't do it. Now I'm sitting there, that's all I can think about.
I know it's like a hacky stand-up routine, to be like, what's the deal with dentists talking to you when they're working in your mouth? But what's the fucking deal with dentists talking to you when they're in your
It's like, you
mouth?
really want me to respond?
They're like, so is everything? You having a good summer? I'm like,
Then they take
I don't
their
know.
instruments out, and you're like, yes, instruments back in.
I'm like, really? You're at like, are you doing okay? Thumbs up is fine, but like, how's your summer going? No. Let me wear my headphones. You do what the fuck you got to do, and then leave me be.
Hey, you have an annual physical to make sure you're healthy. What do you do each year to make sure you remain financially fit? Our friend Mark Leibovitz at LPL Financial specializes in thoughtful and objective investment guidance designed to keep your finances in shape. So call Mark today, 248-626-2000. Ask for Mark.
Securities and advisory services offered through LPL Financial, a registered investment advisor. Member FINRA SIPC.
I do really like my dentist, though. She's amazing. Fuck with her. I even told her, I was like, look, I love you guys, but I fucking hate seeing you. I just hate seeing your faces. I'm sorry. And they're like, no, we get that a lot. Yeah. I'm like, I bet you do.
You're getting that retainer. I think I've brought it up before,
Dude,
but
no,
but it reminds me. I think I brought it up before, but it reminds me that the time I got fired from a dentist for like losing too many retainers. I just kept.
I was like,
Like,
when did you work for a dentist?
I kept losing. I just was a kid who fucking lost those retainers all the time. I don't understand. Looking back on it, it seems like it made him money. Like in reality,
Yeah, you sound
he's
like
just
the greatest customer
He's just
ever.
charging the insurance back then, especially was like good quality insurance, dude. So he's just making money.
Yeah, what was he thinking?
But I lost like three or four of them or something, and he literally yelled at me.
Yeah.
Yelled at me and then my mom, and then I couldn't go to that dentist anymore, and I had to go to a different dentist.
I was so
Or
paranoid.
orthodontist, I guess that was.
As a kid, I was so paranoid with my retainers. Like, I would never put it on a tray, because God forbid you dump it into the garbage.
Yeah.
Every time I had it out of my mouth, I was like, there's my retainer. Don't forget my retainer. Because it
Yeah.
was beat in my head. Do not lose that retainer. They're expensive.
Was it you or Chet that had the metal?
Chet did.
Chet had that,
Chet
like,
had
helmet.
the headgear. Oh, and he would bitch about it, man. It was a huge issue in our home.
Is there a bigger bummer for in your youthful years
Than to
have
wear a headgear.
a
He didn't have to wear it out of the house. It was just at night.
Oh, that's
But
better.
yeah, can you imagine having to? It was like the Jane Cusack character in 16 Candles.
Yeah, right.
Walking down the hallway with her headgear.
What was the point of that? So you couldn't take the fucker off?
I don't know, man.
No, obviously you took it off.
No, I think it pulled. It pulled in a way, and to have it strapped around your head, it was that constant pull.
Ugh. And it just looks so bad.
So
I mean,
weird.
it's a ring, right? It goes around.
I wonder if that's totally archaic now, or whether kids do that now.
If it's still around, we've dropped the ball on the advancement of the dental game.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
I've not seen it for years,
no.
and none of my kids. It was never proposed for any of my kids.
Yeah, I bet it is. I bet the headgear is still
Pretty
around.
extreme.
Yeah. But I'm trying to think. At that age, is there anything worse you can do to a student?
Oh,
like
man.
that kid shows up to school Monday morning, and he's wearing the fucking teeth
headgear.
headgear.
boy.
I mean, braces was tough.
Really,
If you-
really thick glasses.
I was gonna say glasses.
Yeah, the
Glasses
Coke
starting in
bottles.
fourth grade.
yeah, that,
and they
that-
were terrible.
just having glasses or
Well,
super
I
thick
remember they weren't like. It just seems like they've come so far, even in 20 years. Like as far as glasses, like
Yeah.
when I was in fourth grade, it was just that's all you got. Like these standard, it felt like just big plastic.
Yeah.
Nothing even remotely good
Cool.
looking at all.
Yeah,
No, I think headgear's it. I think it's
that's way worse than glasses.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
the
for
one.
sure,
really
it would
It's
be.
the one.
I'm trying to think of anything else like some sort of brace. Weren't there some like braces to straighten your back? Or
Oh
something? Like,
yeah, like a
Forrest Gump?
scoliosis type thing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
Forrest Gump, like
Or
Forrest have that?
Dee on Always Sunny. You remember she was? They said
Did she have that?
Yeah, she had that and some shit. I forget what they used to call her, but she had some back shit.
yeah. But the headgear, I think headgear is even worse.
yeah,
Probably, right?
yeah, because it's
Oh,
just
boy.
in your face.
Yeah, that's tough. Jay, you've got you still have YouTube Red. Is it Red? YouTube? Whatever you're using as
yeah,
TV.
YouTube TV. Yeah.
And that gets you your locals, right? You get
Yeah, I don't really watch the locals. I just watch the beautiful game and Les Tours.
let's sure.
Don't tell me what happened in stage 18.
Did you watch it again yesterday?
I was watching a little bit this morning. I watched 17 last night. It really was one of those downer stages where all
Yeah.
the leaders stay together. Nobody wants to break away.
Oh, that's bullshit. They
Yeah.
should be penalized for that.
But we're in the Alps today, gentlemen. I mean,
Really?
this is where the race is going to be won.
Is it snowing in the Alps?
No, but they're expecting rain. So
Okay. So, do you like better when they're whipping down the mountain or
fun.
up the mountain?
well, both of them are pretty damn compelling.
One's a struggle, and one looks like a
man.
potential wreck.
One is just suffering, and then then you have that total potential. Those guys, they get down, they actually sit on the frame of their bike, to get more aerodynamic.
do?
Yeah, it's crazy the speeds.
What kind of speeds are they hitting?
I think they're 50.
That's madness.
Yeah,
No
high
wipeouts
50s.
still?
There's been small shit. Trying to, I saw a broken wrist the other day, but nothing on huge descents. Although there's going to be 3 big descents today.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let us know. Don't forget to
I
let us know if
won't- I
there's
won't
a
hold
nice
back.
wipeout. I need to know. I think because I don't watch network TV at all unless it's like a football game on NBC or something that I care about. But other than that, almost nothing. Dude, Troy keeps recording America's Got Talent. He's got it like auto recording.
Yeah.
And so I'll walk in and he's watching. And he's like, "Bro, you got to see this dude." Back it up. Blah, blah, blah. And some magician's like, "Oh, no way. How did he do?" Like, dude, that show is fucking awesome.
Is it?
It's got to be one of the best shows on TV. Seriously. Do you ever watch it? E?
No, but I'm sure it is.
I'll throw this out: Shark Tank, hands down, best show on TV.
Really? You think
Yes.
so?
Yes.
The products where you go in front of Cuban and
Yeah, it's just
the
really
chick.
interesting, man. Some of the new products that people are proposing, then to see how they deal with the offers or non-offers.
Yeah.
I love that show.
Yeah, I've never not liked it when I watched it. I just don't
Yeah.
watch it. I guess that's probably true with America's Got Talent too. But it's amazing how many groups from all over the world, like people just like. I wouldn't think that I would like watching a 7'6" foot tall man laying down and having like a watermelon above his head and coconuts all the way around him, and then having a fucking dude with a turban pour salt over his fucking eyes, put a bandana on, and then
What?
turban his face up, pull a sledgehammer out, and just start breaking fucking coconuts all the way around this, right in front of his dong, his fucking head.
Salt in the eyes just to rub salt in
Just
the
like, I
eyes.
want you to know I cannot see shit.
Wow. Okay.
It's unbelievable, man. And some of the talent that's out there, some of the magicians. I mean, it's
I believe
really
it. I think if you
fascinating.
forced me to sit down and watch it, I believe that I would like it. But the problem is, I've just gone with everything where it's like, what's the point? What do I care who wins or loses this competition? You know what I mean? I just don't care.
Well, why do you care about anything?
Well, because like if I binge watch a TV show, I feel like I'm getting entertainment. Like I'm like, oh my god, I want to see the next episode. I'm following a story that
You would cry every episode.
I'm sure that I would.
Because they've all got some sad sack story behind them or some struggle they fought through.
That's what I'm saying. I
And
believe
here
that
they
I
are
would.
getting their moment. There's a comic on there, who's huge and he's goofy fucking looking, and he suffered from like can't leave the house-itis, like absolutely terrified to speak, say anything in public, talk to people, like he's just fucked up. And they show this guy and he wants to be a comedian. He finds comedy funny, and like had to work for years with like therapists just to like walk out his front door and then and this dude comes on stage and everybody's looking at him like, what the fuck are you? And he's just sitting there, he's standing there at the mic and they're playing this backstory. And the kid's fucking funny, man. He finally gets the courage and he just like almost collapses when he's done. Just like, wow, you know, it's cool. And then there's a Detroit tie too, because do you see the stories from probably, I think they went in November, but it just aired finally.
Yeah,
It's like a gospel choir.
Yeah, there's like a gospel choir, right, of kids. And it's basically, and they've been doing this for years, like 20 years or something. You got to be between like 12 and 18. It's trying to keep kids off the streets, give them something to do after school. And this guy works his ass off to like help these kids. And, you know, and they went up there and just fucking owned this thing. Like, I don't give a shit about choirs. They end up getting the fucking golden buzzer, which automatically throws you into the fun. Each judge gets one a season they could do, and
Yeah.
this group from Detroit got it, and they're crying. I mean, they're so happy. It was
Yeah,
really
I watched
cool,
the video.
man. Did you watch the video?
Yeah, I saw it.
Yeah,
Definitely emotional.
I don't know, and I know it's airing now, but it's interesting. I find it interesting, anyways.
It is, dude. I'm just weird. I've become very weird with my entertainment. I was telling Jay, like, even with video games, I just am like, what's going to happen? I win the NHL Stanley Cup, and now I'm, like, in my basement, like, I won the Stanley Cup.
Yeah.
But I'll sit there and binge watch, as I've mentioned, these confession tapes. I'll watch, 10 in a row of those because I just find it interesting, the stories. So it's just a different...
Well-
you're right that I'm my point was I'm sure that I would like it. I just have decided to not... I don't watch network television at all anymore. At all.
Well, this morning I got up and started to binge listen to. I took your recommendation about Kim Goldman's podcast.
yeah. What'd you think?
Confronting OJ.
Yeah. You like
it's
it?
fucking awesome. It's spectacular. Just riveting. I mean, I got to admit, I kind of fast forwarded through a little bit of her rounding up like his friends to describe Ron Goldman.
Oh, right.
You know what I
right.
mean? I'm like, okay, whatever. But dude, hearing from like. She got everybody, man. Marsha Clark and the other
Darden.
Christopher Darden.
Who she's apparently great friends with.
Yeah. You could tell the chick that's like a ghost writer or whatever, the one that's kind of like the announcer or something for the show.
Oh, Nancy Glass.
Yeah, Nancy Glass. I don't know what their connection was. She a journalist or something?
Yeah, she was Court TV, I think.
Okay. It's fascinating, and so. And it said at the end of it, I was reading the description of what was going to be on this episode, and it says, hey, to contact us or follow us here on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. And I wrote them a message on Facebook. It was just like, hey, I'm sure you're inundated with shit. This is great stuff you're doing, Kim, if there's any chance, for an interview. And so they put me in touch with the booker. So hopefully, I don't know how much she's doing, but if we're ever going to get a chance to like talk to Kim Goldman about that,
Yeah, that'd be cool.
wouldn't that be cool to kind of go behind the scenes with her on that? Because there's just, and part of when I wrote them, I was like, I thought I knew everything about OJ, Ron, and Nicole. Like I've watched and read so much stuff, and it's like, holy shit, there's so much we didn't know, like going on and politics involved. Like,
Yeah, and even in the stuff that you do, it's kind of fun to remember it.
Yeah.
Fun, I mean, in terms of a murder case, but like it just comes rushing back. Like, oh yeah, that. And, oh my God, that too. Holy shit.
she does a good job of like putting you there, what it's like, when her and her dad are talking in the beginning, Fred Goldman, like you really see the dynamic between the three. Like their mom was just like, ugh, I don't want kids, and bolts is gone from their life and is just kind of a cunt from there on. And so Fred loves these fucking kids and is like, mine, and raises these two as like best friends together, like to rip that family of all families apart. Like they think about this. He goes freshman year or something, sophomore year of college in Wisconsin or Chicago, where they're from, and then the three of them together move to California. Like they're at an age old enough where it's like, you're not probably moving with your parents,
Right,
you know what I mean? Like, but the three of them as a team move. And
Yeah, I didn't really know anything about the Goldmans and hadn't given them a ton of thought. I mean,
Yeah.
you sit there and you feel totally bad for them. You see them in the courtroom, like, oh God, that's just heart wrenching. But
Yeah.
I hadn't really given that side of things a ton of thought. So to hear that lead up
Yes.
and then to be reintroduced to the case, you come at it from a different perspective.
Well, it humanizes, like what this podcast is doing is humanizing them as people, not just like characters we're watching on a TV show, because that's what that circus was. It was a TV show. One of the first reality shows. and the country couldn't get enough. Dude, 95 million people watched the fucking Bronco chase.
Think about that.
That's 3 times as many Americans as watched the final episode of Game of Thrones. 3 times as many. Dude, that's insanity. You know, it shows you the level of like how big that shit
That
was.
was the kickoff to this whole thing.
Oh.
It's amazing.
What a story.
It was amazing.
And at the same time, the LA prosecutor's office is handling the Michael Jackson molestation case. And what was the other one? There was a third one where it was like, holy shit.
Oh, was it the brothers who shot their
No,
parents?
the rich kids that shot. No, that was in like Connecticut.
Menendez?
That wasn't LA, was it?
Oh, I thought it was.
Maybe it was. But there was another one. There was another huge name profile, big profile case. Can't remember what it was. But yeah, hearing them, everybody has the image of Kim Goldman, when the verdict's read and the tears and their hair going up and collapsing on her dad. And it's just like, oh yeah, I remember that TV character. But hearing the two of them on the phone talking about like where I was when the phone call came in, and hearing this father break down about like how the fuck am I gonna talk to Kim? I want to know more about that relationship. She's living in San Francisco with a guy, Joe or something.
You want to know more about it?
Yeah, because she's living with this guy, and dad calls, boyfriend answers the phone. He's like, tells him and says, don't say a fucking word to Kim. Tell her she needs to call me the second she walks in the door. And she just walks in the door, and there he is, like,
Call your dad.
Call your dad. She calls dad, and immediately they hop in a car. She goes down there. She never returns back there. Like, okay. Like, she like moved into her dad's house, moved into her brother's old bedroom.
Yeah, life
and,
altering.
Like, dude, dropped everything, and that's her new existence. And it's like, what happened to that dude? Was he calling? How long did he
Must have been very important, dear.
Yeah, I mean, but they're living together. That's why it's like, okay, they were important enough in each other's lives to be living together. And she doesn't seem like a reckless person that's just gonna be willy-nilly moving in with people. And so it's like, did he try to keep it together, like a long distance relationship? Like,
Hey, I know you got this Ron
Hey, hon.
murder thing going, but I really kind of miss you. If you could,
And that would have been
Head
before
up to Marin
texting.
County.
I guess, I mean,
oh
we
yeah,
had cell phones,
pre-iPhone. Yeah.
But there been email yet, or
Yes.
let's see,
94,
90.
Yeah,
Not necess-
yes, but it wouldn't have been super prevalent.
yeah. So it's just my point is to him saying like, oh, I know you got this thing going, but you'd have to have real conversations for the most part.
And,
Yeah.
and how do you like? So you want to do dinner and a movie tonight? Like, how do you have
Got
any
tickets-
sort of
right? I got tickets
like
to the game.
romantic? Like, hey, I was thinking about this. A little wink, wink tonight. What do you think? Fuck you! Like, no, it's done. That dude.
I think
that
it is just
dude's
done. I
like,
think he
dude.
just. I think he just goes. You know what?
Yeah,
I don't
there's
know.
no recovering from this.
Because you're right. Like, what's he gonna like? Wouldn't mind a blowjob right about now. You know what I mean? If
Yeah.
she's like, come, she's getting out of
And
trial.
I would
or
never
something.
say that to her, Kim. If you're sampling our show right now, do not worry. We would never be disrespectful
of
like
course
that
not.
to you. But I would love to talk to her though about the whole thing. It's I'm still fascinated.
I know.
as shit by
It's
it all.
gripping.
I really am. So anyway, the initial contact has gone up. I'll just say that. And it was all I could do. I'm trying so hard, Jay, not to watch. The other sitcom I used to watch, the News, on each night. There's a brand new episode of the News every night.
Crazy, 365 days a year.
Yeah.
Even it's not. They don't even take season off season.
I
Yet
know.
it's
They have
brand
kinda
new,
like-
brand new every night, quote unquote. But yet it
Well,
all seems the same.
Yeah,
Well, like a soap
it's
opera,
a soap
though, Jay.
opera. Yeah, it crawls. It crawls along all right.
The storylines are kind of all the same, but it's
Yeah, kinda.
Part of my interest is piqued with a Q, though it's like, okay, how are these assholes each going to spin this? Like they've invested so much time into this story and battle lines drawn. Whether I believe Trump is a fucking monster Russian guy, and the other side's like, this is crazy witch hunt. Now that this fucking old frail man, I heard someone say it looked like elder abuse, and I was like, it did look like elder abuse to have him on the stand. How are they going to spin it? Is people just going to go, well, that was a fun 2 years. Anywho, on to the next thing, change it up for the new season. But nope, dug right in, and I'm seeing these
Tripling down.
tripling, quadrupling down on. Oh, we're just getting started. Now it's time.
Getting started.
Seriously, I heard one dude. I heard a soundbite from somebody. I don't know who it was. Some dumb saying, "This is only Act 1."
Eric Swalwell
Of
or
a
whatever.
3-act play. I think the American people want to know. They want to know what went on with Manafort, and it's like, no, man.
No,
I
they
don't think
don't.
the American people want
No.
any
Is
more
This
of
Act
this.
1?
No, sir. You are.
It's like just vote him out in a year and a half, man.
Yeah, just beat him in the election. That's what you
God.
got to do, because this tripling down. The American people demand to know, and we've got to. It's my duty as an American servant to get to the bottom.
Yeah.
Like
It's an excuse not to do any work. It's just
yeah.
churn this bullshit over and over.
Anyone, we're all Americans, right? I think so.
yeah.
We've got papers that can prove
Jesus.
it.
I do.
Jesus.
Jesus.
Anyone in this room give a shit about whatever tax issues Paul Manafort had from a decade ago that he's now sitting in jail for?
I don't.
No. Roger Stone, we needed to raid his house at 6 in the morning with CNN cams present to drag a 65-year-old man out of his house for, I don't know, a couple false statements maybe that affected nobody. You know, like, what are we doing? And, well, anybody that said something about Russia or collusion, we need to get them on the stand now
Anybody that
and
said-
dial in, and we need to ask them questions. I'm like, dude, I know you want this to be true so bad, but you were so barking up the wrong tree. The American public does not want to do this.
Doesn't seem like it.
I don't think so. I think they're wrong. But the good thing is, our celebrities kind of keep us balanced.
Thank
and
God.
once,
Thank fucking God.
Good job speaking for
Well-
the conscience of Americans.
well, they're, celebrities. They're just like us. You know what I mean? I mean, they really, really
Just like
are.
us, but better. Right? More informed. A little bit more informed than us.
Well, way more informed because they can buy knowledge. They've got more popular friends, let's say, right? And when they get in a room, they know exactly what's going on and what's best for all of us.
What did George Clooney have to say?
I didn't hear from Clooney yet, but isn't he French now?
Oh,
I don't even know if
probably,
he's in
yeah,
America.
probably.
I mean, he might have left. Let's see.
Is it the same 5? I mean, is it just going to be like Rosie O'Donnell? You know what I mean?
Well,
Like-
yeah. I mean, once you
Alyssa Milano.
once you cast for your shows, I mean,
Right.
these are the stars. I mean,
Okay.
these are your A-listers.
Okay.
I want to know what they're getting out of this. You know what I mean? Like, what is in it for Bette Midler? What's in it for Alyssa Milano?
Social justice points.
Is that worth
Status,
it? I just don't know
yeah.
that that's worth it. Is that enough to be thought of as woke? You're woke and smart.
Climbing up that the rungs of that woke ladder, right?
Yeah. Well, people were going all day. They were like, what the fuck? That's the hero in the cape? That old fucking man who didn't look like he knew shit about anything?
Stammering.
That's shaky, disoriented. He honestly looked like he was learning about what the Mueller report was yesterday.
Yeah.
He did.
That's out of my purview.
Yeah. Everything's out of my purview. 200 deflections, I think they said in the end. Maria Shriver had enough of this nonsense. People talking about this shaky old man, disoriented, and she said, talking about, could it be we are simply witnessing a man with deep integrity who is cautious with his words, and that we are comparing his style to the way people scream and yell today? Could this be two different styles, two different generations? No, Maria, no. That was shaky old man. We all know what shaky old man with Kane going into the restaurant looks like, and you got to fucking wait an
Yeah.
extra 3 minutes to get in the door.
Yes.
That was Bob Mueller. Not saying he was always like that.
Seen him fall off a curb, unfortunately.
Yeah, yeah. Mia Farrow. Always good to hear from Mia Farrow.
Mia Farrow. What, Woody Allen's ex-wife, right?
Yeah, was Woody banging
Yes,
Mia's daughter?
their adopted daughter, right?
Yes.
And then he married the adopted daughter.
Soon Yi.
Something like that.
Yeah. So he's banging Mia Farrow. They adopt
Gross, by the
a
way.
They
child.
I don't
adopt
even know who
Soon Lee or Soon Yi. There she is.
Yeah, in his defense, I wouldn't bang that either.
Soon Yi.
Soon Yi. And then Soon Yi, after she joins the family, he starts banging Soon Yi. Right?
His face. I'm
That wasn't
sorry.
bad.
What?
Nothing. So he starts banging her. I believe she's 13 at the time.
Yeah.
And I think they're
Woody
happily
does?
married now. Yeah.
Oh, how nice.
Yeah.
Well, he ended up marrying her, you know?
Okay,
Yeah,
well,
love is love, man.
That is
Jeez.
better, at least.
Can't-
It's
I
written
guess
in the
that-
stars. Can't deny it.
Dude, you can't.
Cupid's arrow?
That is better, I guess.
I mean, honestly, love knows no bounds.
Well, we found from that other girl the other day that she just looks at the soul. He looked at the soul. It had nothing to do with age, nothing to do with anything.
Yeah.
It was the soul.
Or he just looked at something in the house that was different from what he was already with, and it was just like,
Young.
take that one.
Younger
young.
version.
Yeah. So she says Mueller embodies a couple of things GOP lawmakers have forgotten.
This is Mia Farrow.
Right.
Okay.
Right. Decency, integrity, honesty. That's what he embodies. Trump has zero credibility. Soon it will be clear to all that you did, in fact, obstruct justice at least 10 times.
Soon it will be clear.
Add your little stick to
How
the burn
soon?
pile,
I want
Miss
to know
Farrow.
now then. Soon? It's
Yeah.
been 2 years. Let me know now.
I know, I want to know. But yeah. So that was from Mia Farrow. Stephen King, Steph King, weighs in. I know you like Stephen King,
I know.
don't you?
It bums me out.
Yeah, it should. Should bum you out.
Nah, I like his writing.
I do. And I'll read his books
Yeah,
still. I
there
don't
you go.
care. But
He weighed in to condemn the Republican excoriation. Ooh, I like that word. The Republican excoriation of Bob Mueller, who has been bent over backward to be fair-minded and thorough, is one large reason why so many fundamentally decent men and women now eschew public service.
Eschew. You like excoriate? I love eschew.
Eschew is good. Yeah, that is good. AS.
CHEW.
Yeah.
That's
No,
awesome.
ESCHEW.
Right.
Yeah, that's great. That's great. Alyssa Milano highlighted a particular moment in the hearing when Mueller asked, the reason you did not indict, so she just tweeted, the reason you did not indict Donald Trump is because OLC opinion stating that you could not indict a sitting president. Is that correct? Mueller said yes, which was, he later apologized for. That's not what he meant. John Cusack. Love to hear from John Cusack.
You mentioned his sister Joan a moment ago.
Yeah, absolutely.
How rare is that to have two Cusacks mentioned on one episode of the Detroit
Has
Cast?
that ever happened
Not
anywhere?
sure. I'm not sure.
Has any broadcast?
This is a Cusack.
Separate, by the way. Separate instances.
Totally separate.
Because
Not
you
saying
could say-
John is Joan's brother. Yeah.
Exactly.
No. It's a very Cusack-oriented episode.
Yeah, it was a Cusackian moment. We'll take it. John Cusack tweeted, "Yup, obstruction all day long."
It's just
for what?
I don't know. Bette Midler. And I was dying to hear from old
you
Bette.
ask for what?
No, no, no.
And I fundamentally ask, why are you tweeting
That's
this?
what I meant. You know what? I said that wrong. When I said for
like,
what, I meant what are you tweeting
the
this for?
substance of your tweet is I don't give a shit. But the fact that you're like you're
Yeah.
getting in on this, you're putting your stick on the fucking burn pile.
Son,
Right.
It's like, what the fuck, man?
and
what
can you-
drives it? Just go for a walk. Look, it's beautiful outside. Look
Yeah.
at the sunshine. John Cusack, enjoy your riches. Why are you just hate-filled and angry?
Exactly. And that's why I'm reading these going, what they obviously want us to know. Because again, it's the moment of, excuse me, can I have everyone's attention, please?
The world.
Don't forget, colluded with Russia.
Yeah,
Yup.
like this bothers him. This bothers
Personally,
him.
personally.
John Cusack is bothered. He's
Yeah.
deeply affected.
Yup, obstruction all day long. Thanks, Mr. Cusack. See you next week. Like, Bette Midler highlighted a part of the report in which Trump exclaimed, "I'm fucked," when he was informed a special counsel had been appointed to investigate Russia and collusion. Try to keep this the foremost in your mind for the next year and a half, okay? Per Bette Midler. Keep
Year
that
and
in
a
mind.
half. I got other things to worry about.
Look, it.
Mike's got his teeth.
I can
He's got
at
a-
least-
Wait, Bette Midler or Barbara Streisand? Bette Midler. I get it mixed up.
Barbara Midler.
Which one is this
Bette
one? Bette Midler
Streisand.
did what?
Bette Midler.
She sang The Rose, right? Right?
She sang the theme to Titanic, right?
No, that's
Look at this
Celine
by
Dion.
Wait.
Cusack, by the way. This is nice. Just doing a little tweeting about just brought tears to his eyes about Bernie Sanders. I guess he didn't care that Mr. Bernie Sanders, who wanted people to pay $15 an hour, wasn't even paying his own people $15 an hour.
Yeah.
Great point.
I love those.
I mean, it's
Isn't
just
that
like,
great?
Yeah.
Isn't that great? Who was the? Wasn't there a who was fighting for women's equal pay, and they were like, "Yeah, your office doesn't pay the fucking women. They pay the women less than
Oh
the
my
fucking men in
God.
your office. You idiot! Shut
But it
up."
brought tears to John Cusack's eyes, and we
Yeah.
should elect Bernie Sanders
Did it?
ASAP.
Did it? I want video where it didn't happen, Mr. Cusack. And if you're crying at a Bernie Sanders fucking video, wow.
What are you doing, Cusack?
Bette Midler. Here's the thing, too. I at least can see both sides. Like when he had that "I'm fucked" moment, you know, oh my God, they've appointed a special counsel, and Bette's the redhead.
Bette Midler banged Geraldo. Or Geraldo.
Geraldo banged
tried
Bette Midler.
to bang Bette
Geraldo
Midler.
raped Bette Midler.
Okay,
Or was
that's the
forcefully.
one.
aggressive with
Streisand was in Meet the Parents
Old
too.
Yeller, or
All right, I got him. I just in my mind.
she's got
All
the
right.
nose.
Yes.
What's her song? Feelings or Send in the Clowns. Didn't
Okay.
she do Send in the Clowns?
I think so. She also
Yeah.
did the Rose, I believe.
Okay. I thought Seal did that.
No, that's Kissed by the Rose,
Prince
right?
do that? Ah, I can't remember.
No, he did the Bat
separate.
Dance or whatever that was. They were both on the same soundtrack.
I know. So
Some say love is like a river that drowns the tender reed.
I don't-
That song.
yeah, that stinks. I don't like that one. But she is so convinced I'm fucked means, oh God, he's gonna dig in and figure out what I meant. Maybe it's probably more likely that when he went, I'm fucked. When that gets appointed, it means the next 3 years are going to be a
Oh,
fucking
right,
nightmare.
right. Yeah, no,
I'm fucked. This is going to ruin my presidency. Not because I'm guilty of collusion, because bet he wasn't. He wasn't worried about that. He was worried about the next 3 fucking years being tied up in this mess.
Yeah, nobody knows what that means is the point. It can mean one of several things. And so to just, well, he said I'm fucked. So therefore, case closed. Like,
That's all the evidence I
oh
need.
my God.
Stop. I can at least go, okay, maybe he absolutely meant, oh no, this guy's gonna dig into everything, he's gonna find out what I've done. I'm fucked. But more than likely, he understands how slow moving these processes are
Yeah.
intentionally, and it's gonna muck up his shit. He's not gonna be able to get anything done because of this. You know, it's not the first time this has happened. We've seen this kind of thing before. Anyway, other liberals were less supportive. I like David Axelrod, who's Obama's former. What was he? His
Campaign manager?
yeah, he was campaign manager, and he was just like, "This is very, very painful to watch."
Right,
Mueller
yeah.
stammering on the stand.
Yeah.
You know, Lawrence Tribe, famed liberal lawyer. I think-
Constitutional law professor at Harvard, correct?
Yes, and he despises Trump, and he wrote that Mueller was not up to the challenge of breathing life into his damning report. Michael Moore said Mueller has come across as a frail old man, unable to remember things, stumbling, refusing to answer basic questions. Yeah, he says his probe was not a witch hunt. So, and he
And they're like, see, he said it's not a witch hunt.
not.
And the president said it was a witch hunt. Huh?
Yeah.
Huh?
What say you of that? It's just
all the evidence I need.
God.
He also defended the integrity of his team, blasting claims that they were selected for partisan reasons. That is really hard to defend, is it not? Like, when you hire 13 lawyers, all Democrats with ties and given thousands of money to her campaign and other Democrats, like,
Well, I think his explanation, though, was he didn't really vet them. He just hired them because he thought they were good lawyers. And it's like, okay, so we're either to believe that you're incompetent or
Yeah.
you're biased. I guess, sure, I guess I'll believe you're incompetent. Okay, I've seen you testify now for several
Yeah.
hours. You
Yeah.
appear incompetent.
yeah, I wanted to bring you a bran muffin.
I want to know when he's going to pay back the bill. How much did he bill for this? Right,
25 mil.
Okay, 25 mil for the whole thing.
Yep.
How much did he personally the checks he cashed to
How
be the
much-
figurehead in front of this whole thing?
What do you think that dude makes for 2 fucking years working on this thing? Millions, right? Does
Yeah.
he take home millions for that?
I would think.
Oh my God, it's nauseating. And you know what? When you talk about conflict of interest, as far as that goes, it doesn't mean that you necessarily have. It's the perception even of a conflict of interest. There were people screaming from every rooftop. Are you shitting me? These
Well, yeah,
people donated to Hillary's campaign.
Yeah, you'd-
the optics are terrible.
Yeah, you just think from that standpoint, like, you know, this is politically charged.
Yes.
You ought to have, like, from the outset. That's why he was chosen in reality, because he was this guy that both sides at the beginning could agree,
Yeah.
oh, yeah, he's untouchable. This guy's got great character.
Right.
So you'd think going into it, okay, I'm going to be careful. I'm going to load it up with half what people would say are Republicans, half with Democrats, and we'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Or as neutral a person as I can. But apparently he either didn't vet them and just ended up haplessly hiring a bunch of Democrats,
Did
or
he-
he did it for a reason.
Did he? Do you think he would have hired all of them, or
Dude,
did he?
I
does he have a
think-
guy that just did it?
I think a guy.
Weissman or
I think Weissman or a guy led this thing, and
Yeah.
I think Bob Mueller, because he was of this great character and could be agreed to by both sides as to be the guy to look
Yep.
into this, was the figurehead, and I think he very soon handed up. That's just that's my suspicion.
That's what it looked like in answering questions. Like he absolutely said he wasn't familiar with Fusion GPS.
I know,
Like
man.
that just doesn't.
He said it like twice in the same
like,
line of
I'm
questioning.
not familiar. I'm not aware of that or something. It was like, what, dude? How was it? And I think that he sat in on very few interviews that they were conducting.
Yeah.
And so it sounds
Oh,
like
he's an old retired guy who,
Yeah.
he was the link to get the thing started, and then he formed a team, or his guys formed a team, and he's like, all right, let me know
Yeah.
if you need help.
there's mumblings because one of the guys was like, so did you write your speech when you made your statement a couple weeks after the report, blah blah blah? And he was like, I'm not going to talk about that. And he was like, I thought so. You didn't write any of it.
That's outside my purview.
Yeah, right. And I heard some people saying stuff like, it's very possible that these people ran amok. He had very little to do with it. They were doing their shit. They got in the weeds, like so convinced, and they just kept going. When they dropped the report and people were like fucking blasting the shit, oh my God, this and that. And when he was like, that's not really what I was saying, that these guys were like, boss, you got to go out there and let him, that's not really what we were saying. And so that he was kind of pushed out there to make
Yeah,
that statement.
yeah.
Like he didn't want to make that statement.
I think that's believable. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think he wanted any part of being, like publicly commenting on it.
That's
I thought I bet you he thought, we'll just issue this thing and I'll go back into retirement and that'll be the Mueller report.
wow.
And he had to be just like, fuck.
That-
I got to go to Capitol Hill. Fuck. He delayed it a couple times. You
Oh
know?
yeah. I don't know why. Like, you can't get a bigger spotlight on a moment in the country, right? Like, the whole world is watching. Why would you?
Yeah,
take that on. Why would you take it on and
You'd
not
think
really
he
be
would
a
have had
part
a
of it?
cram session the night before, right?
Yeah. Let's get some.
All right,
bullet
I'm
points.
reading this shit. This
All right.
448
Yeah.
pages.
He's got
Let's
it.
sit down and read this.
Anyone got a copy I could borrow? Like,
Highlighter. Come on, quick.
Come on, quick. They're trying to just slip him sticky notes. Say that. It's out of my purview. What I said in the report, I stand by.
Talk to my supervisor. I need a supervisor. I
Yeah.
mean, right? Like, just someone
That's
just
not
told
my
him.
department,
Someone just
sorry.
told him, say this. Just
Yeah.
keep saying it.
I'll talk to my guys. That's not my department.
That's not my department. I'll tell our webmaster.
Could you imagine he just kept saying that? It's not my purview. It's not my department. I'll talk to our webmaster.
Talk to my ghostwriter.
Yes. Yeah, I don't know, man. So if you thought for a second that this was going anywhere, sorry to disappoint you. It sounds like they've renewed for an all-new season of the news or the Mueller,
They
the
do
Trump
every day.
years.
The
I
24-hour news site, they have to fill. They need content. There's too many channels that just need content.
Yeah.
And you're crazy if you're still watching that shit. Hey, insurance, we all need it. Most of us don't know what kind of coverage we have or who provides it. Let fellow TDC listener Brent Wasik from Wasik Insurance Services change all that. Brent has over 30 years in the business. He offers all types of insurance coverage, including, but not limited to, auto, home, health, life, business, commercial, and more. Call Brent Wasik at 734-455-1900 and get a free, no-obligation quote today. Again, that's 734-455-1900.
So I thought, Jay, at least it feels like we have gone a pretty good stretch here, as far as like seeing the scenes that were playing out over and over. Tamir Rice and Michael Brown and all the Eric Garner. Doesn't it seem like there's really been a halt to kind of these big, like, oh my God,
Yeah,
another
Trump
black
happened.
man, black man killed by a white cop or something like that. Like, we haven't seen those. It seemed like they were
Are they
coming.
not happening for real, or is like? I mean, you know what I'm saying? Or seriously, is it
Yeah, I
Trump,
thi-
or
I
are they
think-
not happening? Could they possibly have just stopped completely? They were happening every month.
They haven't, and that will insult the shit out of a lot of people. They have not stopped completely. There's horrible incidents that happen between cops and people all the
The
time.
media is unable
but
to juggle two things. They
It is
just
tough. Two things.
do you think that's what it is? Like, they
mean-
can't juggle. Like, it's like, nope, Trump, Russia collusion is more important than
Yeah, I
This
think
guy
I think
getting shot
they
in the
look at
street.
ratings and they go, no, keep hitting this story, keep doing this.
Wow, you would think they would put it out there.
You don't think that? I mean,
No, maybe. I think they fade out faster. I think they go away faster. They lose interest. Where Michael Brown, nothing else is going on of note. Like
yeah,
Trump.
give the right facts though, and you have the right story and it'll hit.
Yeah.
But I think right now they would look at one and go, just seems kind of run of the mill.
Well, what I'm seeing way more is cops taking a knee on a lot of shit, like going, dude, I don't have the support of politicians. I don't have the support of the mayor's
The
office,
community.
the
You see the
community.
guys getting drenched by buckets of water.
That's where I'm going with this. And it seems like cops are like taking tremendous abuse in communities. They're getting shit whipped at them. Nobody's defending them. Nobody's taking their, very few people are going out to grandstand and talk up the police. They're just kind of getting their asses handed to themselves in the streets as glorified babysitters with guns, trying to fix all the ills of society. It's really a shit thing that the country has done to our
Men in blue.
Men in blue, yeah. It's sad, but that's led to a lot of hands off, just fucking let them run, whatever. And so we haven't seen these incidents. So I'm wondering why all the attacks on cops, still, right now, why are we dousing them in buckets of water?
Because the people that you're talking about probably doing that are not. They don't even give a fuck about the news. They're not paying attention to Trump. That's still going on in their world. They see it in their mind every day, probably. And it's
I think those stories a few years ago burnt a lot of bridges, if there were any bridges, between community members and our men in blue. So, yeah,
I think
if there ever was any respect, I think those stories took care of that.
yeah, and this is always the danger when you see incidents like this happen. Shit, I could have told you stuff like this was going to happen 3 years ago. I was telling you that. We all were. When you've got leaders, community leaders, politicians, not going to bat for law enforcement hard, no. That is
Warren
not-
Wilhelm, famously.
Yes, de Blasio for the lay. He was a piece of shit. I'm sorry, he was. Police there turned their fucking backs on him.
Yeah.
Felt abandoned. They still feel abandoned, by him. He came out with some lame tweet 2 days after the fact, about it is never appropriate to attack law enforcement, and these men protected us during the heat wave, and it's, too little, too late. I'm sorry. The police do not trust you. They don't like you, and you listen to the police benevolent, association or whatever of New York, and they're like, yeah, dude, this city is fucking gone. It's run by criminals running loose, and they won't let us do anything. They won't let us take the city back. And so we're just stuck in the middle, standing here like, fuck, no support from the mayor or anyone else. And this is what you get. This is where it leads. When you get people's poor shit behavior, and it looks pretty clear, yeah, dude, the guy tried to arrest you. It's over. What are you fighting with him for? It ended up with you getting shot. And politicians and leaders are defending that, standing up for the shitty behavior because it looks woke or whatever. They get more, I don't know, likes in the criminal world. Fuck. It perpetuates that behavior. It keeps going. It gets worse, and I know it's good for ratings to have these incidents blown up everywhere, but it really sucks to see police treated like that. Do you have the video, E? I'm sure a lot of people have seen these. They have arrested 3 guys, I think.
I think this is
now.
the bigger one, maybe. I guess I have 2 different versions.
There's ones where the cops are walking away and just getting thrown water on them. And it's hearing the crowd cheering this along. Oh yeah, this is the bucket one.
They're arresting a guy, and there's people with 5-gallon buckets just chucking water on the cops.
Yeah, this is when New York's got that heat wave going on. So people...
No, they not. No, the they not. Oh my God, they came over here to talk to them that they violated. Yo, they violated them. They violated them. No, they violated
cheering, filming this cop.
Yeah, they're walking away,
Look
bucket
at that
over the
shit.
head.
Look at that guy.
Oh my God.
Walks up behind the cop with a 5-gallon bucket of water and just dumps it right on his fucking head, and the cop just keeps walking.
Oh, they not stopping. Oh my God.
Well, have fun, by the way, when they're not there to do things when you want them. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like, have fun when you call them for some reason, and they're like, yeah, you know what? No, thanks.
they won't think about that. And I just feel so bad for these guys. So bad when they're they got a job to do. Police officers to a man for the most part and woman take that shit very seriously. Like there's something that pulls you into that line of work. It doesn't pull all of us towards it, but it pulls those guys in, and it's a calling.
Pulled
And-
you for a day, Mike. Don't discount that.
Oh yeah, I'm just a pussy, and I'm broken down. As a horse, I got bad knees. Otherwise I'd be out there with the boys in blue. I really would. But it's too bad. Like so there was an NYPD award ceremony on Tuesday, and the chief of department, Terrence Monahan, addressed the altercations, and he's speaking. He's like, this one in Harlem was bullshit. Blah blah blah. It sucks. And then he's like, in the Brooklyn incident, that's the one we're just watching where the officers are walking away and people are throwing water on him. He took some pretty big shots at the cops. Any cop who thinks that's all right, that they can walk away from something like that, maybe should reconsider whether or not this is the profession for them. We don't take that. The police involved should have taken action, and they will be reprimanded for not doing so. It's like, hell yes, should have turned on and shot. Ask questions later.
Turn around and shot him.
Can you imagine one just drops to and he turns and pow, 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 lights a kid up with holding a bucket of water. Police officers, while expected to endure a higher level of offensive language, are not expected to tolerate the conduct that may give risk of injury to themselves or the public.
One of them got hit in the back of the head by an empty bucket. Like a dude chucked it from distance.
Oh yeah,
Loved him.
I know. And let's see what they say about that. I don't know if they released a statement saying that officer suffered pain and swelling to the back of his head.
That describes it, maybe.
Yeah.
Generally, but
Swelling. Did an empty bucket?
Sure,
blast
dude.
cause something?
Yeah.
Did it look like it caused?
I didn't
mean-
see it, so.
I've seen a 5-gallon bucket. It's got that thick rim. You get whacked.
Yeah.
Not want to be
was that
whacked in the back of the head. By
I don't know that was a 5-gallon bucket, but more of a pail you take to the beach.
Okay, and any bucket. Yeah, you could get whacked and have that hurt you.
All right, prove it. Bring a bucket over and let's whack you over the head and see if he
Jesus.
suffers pain and swelling.
Bring your own buckety and we'll hit you with
Okay,
it.
I'll
bring
make
your
sure
own
to bring
bucket
one
to
on
work
Sunday.
So we did finally hear from Mayor de Blasio. He says this is completely unacceptable.
He's taking a moment while campaigning for president.
Yes, he probably heard from Dante.
Yeah.
Dante was like,
Hey, Dad, via text.
via text, yeah.
Father, you may have heard that there's some news in your home state of New York. I hate to bother you on the campaign trail, Father.
Father,
Son, no problem.
I was just thinking of texting you, son. I could really use some good advice. Wow, you're such an A student and positive man.
And you were on the debate team.
How best to really show my value and worth to the citizens of New York, that I really want to be there for them? How do I get that message through and really represent the inner city that I care so much about, Dante?
Father, first, I believe it's imperative that you respond and you issue a written statement soon.
Period. Space. Capital N, capital Y, capital C. New York City is a beautiful state, and you represent it, and we need whatever. So he ended up, I guess Dante told him to say, it's not acceptable for anyone to resist arrest, It's not acceptable for anyone to interfere with the NYPD when they're effectuating an arrest. It's throwing things at the NYPD is, at an NYPD officer is not only not acceptable, it can lead to charges. It's good to know. The NYPD kept New Yorkers safe through the heat wave and last night's outages. We won't tolerate this kind of disrespect. He's putting his foot down there. I wonder what Rudy Giuliani would have said.
Oh,
the guy
man,
that ended crime in New York? Yeah.
Right, took over for Koch and
Racist.
really turned it around.
Oh,
Now
that
it's
Koch.
sliding back, isn't it? I mean, you got guys pooping in hotel lobbies and kicking turds, you know?
You can't- I
Crime
know,
runs
right?
rampant in Gotham.
Right? I want to see where that cop said, dude, yeah. Anyway, the one that was like, yeah, the city was humming, and then Bill de Blasio came in, and it's a shit show.
Wilhelm saunters in.
Yeah, Wilhelm showed up. Wilhelm the third, or is he a
I think
junior?
he was a junior, Warren Wilhelm.
Warren Wilhelm, yeah. But he's like, one guy turned himself in. I was kind of disappointed that he did. He's a fucking Crips subset. He's not an official Crips, I don't think. He's part of the Crip subset Fresh Gangstas. And he was one of the guys dousing the cops with water. Gangbanger Courtney Thompson. He goes by the name Killer Court.
Courtney.
Yeah.
Got a girly name. You better go by Killer Court.
Killer Court. What up, Killer Court? He surrendered Wednesday morning for his alleged involvement in throwing water on an officer. You telling
What
me
kind of crip?
what?
Man.
Killer Court. Kind of street cred are you trying to hang on to, sir?
Wow.
You turned yourself in, Killer Court?
What? What?
If you ever want to graduate from the Fresh Gangstas and move up to the Crips level, bruh,
Good luck, sir.
holy shit. I mean, can you imagine? Do you think the rest of the team was like, bro, you're going to be in big trouble. You know, you're on probation. You better
Yes.
get in there.
You know what? Maybe I should. Do you think I should? Do you
Oh,
think I should just go talk to him?
Definitely, bro. Definitely. We've got to
Can't
connect.
believe it.
We've got to connect, and there's no way we can make progressive steps forward unless we connect with the
Yeah,
officers.
good point. Good point.
Killer Court, you're gonna have to take one for the team and get your ass in there. You're making the whole Crips team look bad. What are we, animals? Gotta, dude, gangbanger Courtney Killer Court Thompson. He's been on probation. He's immediately arrested for obstruction of governmental administration, criminal nuisance, criminal tampering, disorderly conduct, and harassment. But he can't even play those. Like, bro, I've been in the fucking joint for criminal harassment and fucking blah, blah. What'd you do?
Yeah.
Dumped a bucket of pail of water on a cop.
Surprised
And then I
him.
wasn't even caught, and I turned myself in.
Yeah, right? They're like, wait, yo, bro, you ain't that soft motherfucker that turned yourself in, are you? Shit.
Well, it got him super wet.
Yeah, he was soaked, bro. He has more than 20 prior arrests. That's not bad. Thompson has been on probation since 2018 in connection with the 2015 robbery bust. The chief of police said actions like this we've seen in videos recently will never be tolerated in the city. You will be arrested. Yeah, especially if you turn yourself in.
it's harder to get away with it that way.
Mr. Thompson.
Hey, if you suffered a traumatic accident or injury, don't call the billboard or TV attorneys. Your first call should be to Ogden Legal Triage. Ogden Legal Triage will find you the right personal injury attorney for your case at no cost to you. They will negotiate the best price, save you time, money, and hassle. Who better to help you find a lawyer but a lawyer? Ogden Legal Triage. Our friend Bill Ogden there. For more information, go to firstcalldetroit.com.
Hey, you know what today is, Jay?
It's today.
It's Easus.
Oh, it's this day in history.
This
It's
day
Big
in
E.
history with Big E. So why don't we do one more story? Maybe take a quick break. Let E set up. Do you want to do that? E? You
I
gotta
don't
print
have
some
to if you
stuff.
don't want to.
It's up to you.
you.
I
Need
mean,
to catch your breath here, E?
if you want to catch your breath,
Need to print anything
It
out?
sounds like you guys want to.
No, I'm fine.
I'm good.
no, I'm
Okay,
fine.
well,
we
let's
can
just
I can
roll.
do it.
roll
I can
into
do it
this.
if you want.
Okay,
I
hold on.
started
Let
to
me
just
assume
assume that it's coming. So
Yeah. Let me just say, I don't want people to forget. J. Chris Newberg is doing his show live from Ridley's Comedy Castle. That's coming up August 7th. We're going to be there, and I know Darren McCarty's going to be there. Easus will be there. What up, fam? T-Roy will be in the house. I'll be there. Heroin has live, so it's not just him doing stand-up. He will be doing stand-up too, but he's doing a show live there. Wednesday, August 7th. Tickets can be purchased at comedycastle.com or calling 248-542-9900. Also, Mike Massey live 2 days later at the Arc in Ann Arbor. It's Friday, August 9th, 8 p.m. thearc.org for tickets. He's bringing Bryce Bloom with him, too. So the Arc is A-R-K. That's going to be a great show. If you want to see, that's a proper venue for him to be in, and should be a lot of fun.
I believe Bryce was the flautist on the Led Zeppelin classic Stairway to Heaven when he played at
Really?
Hamlin. Am I correct? Didn't he bust out a penny flute or something?
Yeah, I think you're right.
Penny whistle?
Well, so we had Jeff Hall once with him.
Yep, but the last time was with Bryce.
It
Yeah,
was.
Bryce is the bearded dude. Good guy.
Yeah. He came in here in studio. He
Yeah.
played and played the bass. I hardly remember the flout. He was a flautist too. What a talented son of a bitch.
I know. He busted it out.
Great singer. I
Yeah.
love the harmonies. Those, he matches up well whenever he picks a guy to play with.
Does a great Black Hole Sun.
Absolutely.
With Massey, yeah.
So that's gonna be fun. All right, Easus.
He's
I
I'm
didn't realize- I
a
didn't
visual
realize this.
learner, E. So as you
There's
do
only
your
a-
history, please make sure that you're posting some sort of picture and or video.
I do have some. I have a few pictures, but it's not that. God, this music.
It's official.
It's the worst music ever. I'm sorry. I'm just lazy. I will change it at some point.
Well, it was 1978. Was the world's first test tube baby.
Really?
Yeah, this lady here. Which
Oh,
I know.
jeez.
I
Sorry.
know. feel bad.
Gotta warn us, E.
Big fucking test tube.
Well, wow, Jay, you sound just like her kids in middle school. You used to make fun of her.
Oh,
Wait, was
asking
she?
how could she have fit in the test tube if she's so big?
was that low hanging fruit?
Man.
Kids used to say that to her.
It's,
at school.
man.
it's not low hanging fruit.
No,
Most
I
people
mean,
wouldn't say
dude,
that.
It is what it is. You gotta, you see her, you see her.
She's got a cherub face.
Anyway,
Safe to say.
Is this what they call IVF?
it certainly is, Jay.
So that one was in the tube, not the tube was inserted in her.
No.
Okay, she was in the
Here
tube.
she is as a young baby, I suppose.
Yeah, you can see that
She's a
cherubness.
cute.
Yeah, kind of a cute.
Look at her.
So anyway, this was it though. She was the first one. There had been was not the first time they'd tried. Like they'd tried 300 couples, but this was the first one that took finally. And it's just crazy, I guess. I didn't realize how big of a deal it was, but very controversial. You know, people just
Playing God, right? Was
playing
that the
God,
accusation?
yeah, and stuff and stuff
Playing
like
with
that.
embryos, you know.
So anyway,
Does it say if she can get into heaven, or is she disqualified from entering since
doesn't-
God didn't?
it
Doesn't
say
say
in
there
my
on
report.
Wikipedia.
In Wikipedia. There was actually not that much on
You
Wikipedia
imagine?
about this.
Nice try, test tuber. Get the fuck out of here. You're not welcome here. No.
Actually, it could say on
And she-
Wikipedia. We could add that.
And I will say that
She will not be getting into heaven.
just to be clear, there's absolutely no way she's welcome into heaven.
I will say that she had a
Look
kid.
at her. She's a cute.
Yeah,
Oh
yeah.
my gosh.
Yeah, look at those eyes.
Little Louise.
Yeah, lovely Louise.
Little
and here
Wheezy.
she is.
Hey, Wheezy.
What up, Wheeze?
So she, by the way, going into her life, she actually had a kid the quote unquote natural way. She didn't need to do this test tube situation for her own kid. But her parents.
So she was able to just take a load in the vagine.
Yep,
and
she was.
Spit out a
her
kid.
vagina was able to take the
God
semen
grabbed
and-
that semen and produced a
What a
child.
weird situation.
The old-fashioned way.
But anyway, so her parents, I guess, had tried for years and years, and her mom had depression issues, and she went in and found out
After she was born?
No. They found out that her depression issues linked with the fact that she couldn't get pregnant. It was just bumming her out so much.
She was barren. She
And
was
that-
left barren.
They didn't. I
Barren
didn't say.
womb.
They didn't say
What a
why.
term.
But
Barren womb.
But you just picture it all
Cobwebs
dusty.
and dusty,
Yeah.
gray,
It's
black. Clear out that
We had
barren
to get in
womb.
there and then insert this little IVF chick.
I will say that her mom apparently she said it. She's actually written a book since, but in an interview that I saw, like her mom, she said that like her mom didn't actually understand, like didn't really realize that it had not worked before. Like, because when she went into this, someone told them, "Oh, there's this."
She knows the normal gestation period for a
No,
human
but
being,
she didn't
right?
realize that this
Her
was the
broken
first
vagine?
one that worked as far as
Oh,
this.
I see.
Like,
Oh.
because she went and, someone told her, hey, there's this experimental situation. Go
She
meet this
figured
doctor.
definitely
she
worked before.
Well, she went into the waiting room, even waiting for the guy, and there was mothers with children or that looked pregnant. So she's
child.
just like, oh,
She's just in an OB office.
yeah. So she just thought that, like, oh, this has worked before.
Jesus, let me ask you this. Do they truly use a turkey baster, as we've all heard?
No, I don't
No?
know. I don't know. I don't see.
Well, how does this work? Tell us
I
physically.
actually
How
don't
does
know. I
it
didn't
work?
look into it, but
Jesus.
I don't know. I didn't look.
How does IVF work?
I don't know.
basically?
They put it in the petri dish and then they shove it in there.
Yeah, how do they shove it
With
in
a
there?
turkey baster.
Sure.
Well, that's what I wanted. I wanted
I don't- I
confirmation,
don't
yes or
know.
no.
What if
turkey
they
dish.
sticked it in a dick tip and then let it fire off like a cannon shooting a person?
That doesn't work.
I've
That was
heard.
a problem before, Mike.
No, but if you tube it up proper, stick it in your hole, your
I don't know. You know
dong
what? That's
hole,
something I
Really?
something-
You're going to inject something in your dong hole and think it's going to come out?
Well,
with
then
enough?
you get to have the fun part. Then it's like it's going to be a little pain and then some pleasure. You get to bang, 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 and fire that little guy like you're shooting him out of a cannon.
I try to think of things sometimes you're going to add, and for whatever reason, I just didn't.
You didn't think I'd ask you what IVF, what physically is done during?
no,
in vitro?
I guess I thought people knew,
Well, I
By
wanna know
the way-
turkey
but I
dish.
guess I didn't know. So
How much would that suck? Like you're just going through life, barren wombed, and you just want to have a kid so bad, and you go in for this technology, and it's like front page of every newspaper in the world now. And here she is. The
I know.
I mean, there was people.
Yeah.
Your
they-
life is forever now.
Everyone's picturing your dusty womb.
Well, they said
Dude, I started typing IVF and then space T, and it pulls up turkey baster.
There you go. There you go.
Hell,
official.
man.
Is there like a medical version of the turkey baster?
Clinic turkey baster method may be worth trying before IVF. Putting sperm directly into a woman's uterus is no longer popular as a fertility treatment, but new evidence suggests it's more effective than we thought, as well as being a lot easier and cheaper than IVF. Well, I
Sure.
want to know what the difference between the turkey baster method and IVF is, but apparently our history buff
I
didn't
only
have
learned,
the foresight to
what
look
I
into that.
learned.
Think about it. If for you to get a quality like squeeze shot through a turkey baster, you got to have a lot of semen in there. You know what I mean? Like if you just dribble it in there and like
It's just gonna go.
Yeah, you literally have to have, I don't know, 4 inches
How
long.
much does a typical turkey baster hold? Let me look that up.
In ounces?
Yeah.
Or milliliters of fluid? Because that's how much seminal fluid you need to really get that thing to fire.
Yeah. All right. Continue. I'll look at this.
Well, anyway, so like when Mike mentioned about the papers and stuff, yeah, I mean it was like literally like when she was in the hospital, there was hundreds of people like bugging everybody and like trying to like get in, and people didn't think, and they felt like they had to, like the thing was is like the scientists that created this, like they had to get video of it actually happening as it happened because they didn't think that people would believe it.
Hot.
They thought that people would, like, if they just came out one day and said this is it, people are just gonna be like, no, it didn't happen.
So we have video of the turkey baster going in her vagine and firing that thing?
Just the
Pornhub
I think just
Yeah, where do we go? Pornhub?
I guess I
You
just assumed that was a
Can we
birth.
say it at
I
you
think I meant that just a birth, although that doesn't make any sense, I guess. But
No, it doesn't. I mean, we've seen births before.
Is there turkey baster? Like, is that a subset of porn?
I don't know. I don't think
Turkey
so.
baster porn?
There's
it
everything.
probably-
Maybe.
I would just say yeah. Actually, that's a good point.
What
Probably
do you think?
yes.
EX Hamster or UJIS? Does anyone have the copyright laws to
You know
her
what?
turkey baster?
I guess I didn't. I thought it.
What does it say?
Made
Read
sound
the quote
I don't even have the quote. It made it sound like that it was based on they had to show the actual birth being happening to show that this was true. It happened. We birthed a real girl through a real human through this situation. But you're right. I guess that doesn't make any sense.
Dude, it looks to me like the, I don't know, usual turkey baster is about 1.5 ounces.
Okay.
You know?
So
picture a 12-ounce
How much is
can
the-
of Coke or something.
How much is the average jizz amount that a man will eject from the penis tip?
Yeah.
I think I said that medically correct.
How many ounces?
In the average one, I'm not talking like you supermen out there that are just painting walls and stuff.
Jesus,
Ceilings.
continue.
Anyway, so one of the things that was, this I always follow this, like people talk about this like soulmate bullshit, like, oh my god, my soulmate, and we've talked about it on this show before, the notion that your soulmate, oh how convenient, they were just they live 5 miles from you, they don't live in Taiwan or some shit.
Yeah.
So
Don't bring the tea when he's in.
when she came back,
They've been through enough.
when she came back, like as a baby, like when their parents brought her back,
And she is a cute.
there was like people in the neighborhood were just like, the test tube baby's coming home, the test tube, and so people like lined up the neighborhoods and stuff to
suck.
see her, and her future husband was like a 7-year-old kid that went
He
and like
remembers
in
going
his,
to see the
yes,
test
in
tube
his
baby.
neighborhood.
How weird.
They were like, oh, she's coming. So like if you and Mike just in the neighborhood, someone was like, oh, the test tube baby's coming, and that was Gav, and it was like,
Yeah.
and you were just 7 years older than her.
Ride down on your banana
Like,
seat bike.
What
Go
did
to
so?
see it.
If people are gathering to celebrate, maybe it's a girl, balloons, whatever, Mylar. If people are holding signs, welcome home, there's gonna be drawings on them.
Yeah,
Maybe
big test tube.
like a big test tube with like a fucking
With
tiny
some
little
fluid in it, right?
yeah, and like a tiny little baby. I don't know how
Little
to make a
fetus
baby.
in there.
Yeah,
Oh, that's great. Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like,
Is
oh,
that really how you would draw a test tube, dude? Wouldn't you do this?
No, like that was
yeah, that
Make it.
looks like a fucking dildo, dude.
Well, that's kind of what a test tube looks
well,
like.
you give it a cap at least, All right, so we'll put her in there.
By the way, when a man reaches orgasm, he ejaculates fluid called semen. Did you know that, gentlemen? On average, men
Get outta
expel
here.
between 1.25 and 5 milliliters, quarter of a teaspoon to 1 teaspoon each time.
So
So don't ask me to translate milliliters.
no, let's do the math. We need to know how many times this guy had to fire into a test tube so we could into the turkey baster. He's kept it on ice. He
Do
just
an 11
every
ounce
day.
or 1.5 ounce.
That's holding signs like that. You got
Yeah, for sure there'd be signs like that.
Right?
Yeah.
Welcome home, test tuber.
And you're right about people being assholes. Like there's nice people sending things like, "Oh, this is great." and
Oh,
stuff.
the religious
But there-
community's not going to be happy.
Yeah, there was. But there was definitely like she says like there was people that like sent something in the mail to her, and it was like a bloody test tube. A test tube with like fake blood in it. Like this is what you did, or something.
my
You know what I
gosh.
mean? And shit like that. So.
Wow.
No, she didn't do anything. She just arrived.
Well, no,
and
to the
woke
parents.
up like.
We'll get to the parents though. And like she says to this day, like she kind of kept a normal. Like her parents dragged her around the world, for like the first few years. No, like it wasn't like it was
Look at her.
legitimate.
Look at her.
Look,
It was legitimately
She's in a tube.
to show people, to try to show parents, like, hey, that if you're having a problem, this is a thing. It's a real
Yeah.
thing. So and they stopped after about 4. They stopped. They sent her into real school. But my point is, like, she still does like in speaking engagements, and she says to this day, she'll like, there'll be an
Some
article
really
about her. And
conservative,
there'll be
religious
people like,
people.
this is bullshit,
Abomination. It's an
like,
abomination.
It's like, what are they? I don't understand why they care so much, but. I don't know. And so, yeah, she had to learn. She had to like watch her own birth and like be described before she went into regular school.
Yeah.
That this happened because they knew that kids were gonna. Everyone in the town knew. So it wasn't like if you've been adopted, maybe you could, maybe you can wait till they're a little old enough to like, be like, okay, they can handle this. They
Oh,
had
this
to
is
just
part
be
of
like,
her identity from
right.
the get.
Couldn't they just baby Jane her, Jane Doe her,
Right.
and not make her just like against her wishes
Oh,
at
she
all?
was little Louise from
Just-
day one.
By the way, why
I mean, it's like, yep, you're going to be born, have no say in this, but your life is fucked. You're,
Wheezy.
it's, Wheezy. Sorry, Wheeze.
So E, how much did this cost back in '78?
I don't know. Well, I
Yeah.
mean, she probably didn't even pay. It was a.
Okay, how much does it cost nowadays?
I don't know.
Yeah. Jesus, there had to be a cost, even if it wasn't passed on to the mom. It would have been like
Yeah.
the doctor
Well,
spent
I
$1
don't-
billion to
Right.
birth this
I
They
don't
received government grants of X
Yep.
for the project. How much? We don't know.
I don't
Is that
know.
was she a little wee when she came out? 5 pounds 12 ounces.
That's on the wee side, yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, it's okay.
she made up for it.
Yeah, she did.
I don't know, man.
Terrible, fucking fat shaming. Ugh.
Man, I gotta say, like, not to put like my own commentary on this.
Please, please, Jesus.
Not to editorialize.
Professor
to
Davis.
editorialize what I get out of this. But you know what? They try.
Get him, E.
I know that parents have this bullshit that they want their own child.
Yep.
But you know what, dude? 8 years you try. Adopt a fucking kid. There's so many fucking people.
extras
I'm so
out there.
sick
There's
of.
tons of
I'm
extras.
really so sick of people thinking that they're
Not my
special
genes.
enough. I know. Gotta have my fucking genes.
Your
Why?
shitty
Who the
genes.
hell are you that you can't adopt a fucking 8 years you tried and you're depressed? Why don't you make some fucking kid's whole life better that's living in Africa or something? It just, I don't know.
Yeah.
I think
Some
I-
shithole country?
Yeah.
Is that what you wanted to say?
Yeah, I'll say a
Wow.
shithole
Oh
country.
My God.
How old of a one should you adopt? I say you take on a 12-year-old. 13. Those ones are never getting adopted.
Everybody wants the kitten and the puppy,
Of
right?
course,
And
which
you're
is
right.
bullshit.
Exactly right. Annie, right? Annie was
Yep.
based on an orphanage.
rather- if I was gonna
All those
adopt-
older kids.
Punky Brewster.
It's a great one. Punky.
You know?
Dude, I'm adopting a kid
Remember
that
that
can
weird
already
old man who watched
like-
Punky. Remember he just had that Punky, come here.
Yeah, what was his
Really
name?
old. Like, what was he doing adopting this
was it the
young
her
girl?
dad and Punky
Yeah, her
Brewster, or-
quote dad, her
No,
adoptive.
he
dad.
found her like in the hallway or something.
Yeah, yeah, but
brought
he took her in, right?
Yeah, didn't
It's
tell
old.
anybody.
Yeah.
Just kept her in the house. Let her dress like a fool.
Very curious. Soleil Moon Frye.
That's
And
right.
she ended up getting the breast reduction. Remember that? Punky
Terrible.
Brewster.
She had
Getting the
huge
breast
titties.
reduction. I know.
Yeah.
Just let
what
it
was
happen,
her dog's name?
Boy, I don't know. I can picture it though.
Did she call him Sir?
No, that was Webster, I think, sir and ma'am.
Oh, yeah. Okay. What was his? Is he
No,
still
but
with us?
she brought life to right. He was just an old crotchety man.
Oh, yeah.
What
yeah,
a
yeah.
sitcom.
She kind of rejuvenated things.
What a situation.
And she was always wearing like mismatched stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, she was just crazy.
Different color shoes
Yeah.
and socks.
She was
Is
just
wearing
living life.
She wearing a Swatch watch there? Yeah.
Oh, I
a
hope
Swatch
so.
watch on. What was her dog's name? Isis, come on.
I've never seen the episode.
his name?
I just know the
Henry?
show.
Oh, Punky.
Oh, Punky.
Remember that?
Was it Henry or
Maybe.
George or?
Sure.
Oh man, we should know this stuff.
E, your Bingmanship is failing.
Well, I was talking.
Well-
Duck Gomanship is failing. Yeah, it was Punky and what was that dog's name? It was a yellow lab, right?
No, I think it was like a bushy, kind of, longer hair, I think.
Yeah.
Kind of a mutt-looking thing. George Gaines, best known to TV viewers as the foster father to Soleil Moon Frye's Punky Brewster and her dog Brandon.
Brandon, yep.
Wow, he died at 98.
He did?
98 years old, yeah.
He looks 98 there.
Oh, Punky.
What was his name though? Was it his real name was George?
I think it was George on there. Let's see. Foster parent.
Well, he went 4 seasons. I've never even seen an episode.
Henry.
They only
No,
went
dude,
4
you're right.
Henry,
Building
yeah.
was managed by Henry,
Yep.
an elderly widowed photographer with a grouchy streak. Punky hit it off.
elderly male photographer
Yeah,
takes in
oh
a
boy.
fucking 6-year-old
Oh, man.
girl.
No kidding.
I don't know. I don't want to know what storylines we didn't see. You know what I mean? On
The
a very
relationship
special.
between the two blossoms despite red tape from social workers.
Oh boy, yeah.
Wow.
The social workers saw it. I'm glad we didn't get a very special episode of Punky Brewster this week. On a very special episode, they go visit a bike shop.
Dudley and a bike shop.
Yep.
Jesus, anything
That's
else
what
on
I got.
IVF?
I guess that's what I got.
Well, thank
is-
you for that.
What does IVF stand for? E?
In vitro. I can't say the
Got
word.
this. You got this. You got the hard part.
I know it. I know. I don't even.
Don't look. Don't cheat.
I'm
Don't
not
pull up Wikipedia.
fertilization.
There you go.
Nice job. E.
Well done. Ian.
Nice job.
Hey, everybody, get a 2-pack. My Pillows premiums for $69.98. That's only $34.99 per pillow, which is the lowest price ever offered on podcast, radio, or TV. This offer is only available at mypillow.com. And of course, you must use the promo code TDC for the very best discount.
Hey, have you been following this Jeffrey Epstein story at all?
Yeah, a little bit. I don't know that there's, I know he got hurt. He either hurt himself or,
Yeah.
trying to hang himself in jail or somebody beat him up.
Yeah.
But yeah, so what's the deal? He already served a prison sentence.
13 years.
Okay,
Or
and
something.
this-
13 months, maybe. I think he had a sweetheart of a deal.
Got a sweetheart of a deal. Part of it was served, much of it was served at home.
Dude,
His businesses
he
continued.
He would go to jail.
He'd like check in for an hour. or
7
something.
p.m.
Yeah.
until 6 a.m. and then he was free. He'd
Yeah.
go home and just
Yeah.
chill.
So he
How do you
ser-
get that sentence?
Yeah.
He's fucking children.
And that's the thing, man.
And it was Alex Acosta, right, that made the deal with him, who's now part of Trump's White House.
He stepped down.
Oh, he did.
Yeah, a couple weeks ago.
Oh, okay. I missed that one. I
He
must
was
have
like
been in California.
labor secretary, I think, and he was under a lot of pressure to
Oh.
explain why the hell he gave Epstein such a sweetheart deal. Couldn't really explain it.
I kind of don't like this weird like public pressure to attack these attorneys for decisions made whether years ago or currently, when it's like, just throwing away a guy's career as an attorney or a judge because you don't at first glance this doesn't look like proper justice to you. You know what I mean? Like, that offends me. It's like, dude, you have no idea what was going on at that time, what the evidence was,
Yeah.
what he could prove. And it's like, you know what? Instead of spending $1 billion on this thing, let's get him in jail for 13 months, send a message, blah, blah, blah.
In this instance, though, it looked like Epstein's attorneys bullied the fuck out of the prosecutors.
Yeah, maybe.
And that they just bowed down to him.
Yeah.
It was really, there's some emails that were related to it. I don't know if you
Yeah.
have those, but it was just like, oh my God, what do you...
Is it safe to say the legal justice system is complicated?
Yeah.
At least,
Sure.
At a minimum, it's complicated, and just like reading headlines, I understand. Like, it's fun to do these stories and talk about them and stuff, but there's a lot more involved in these cases. Just listening to the OJ Confronting OJ podcast, hearing the cop talk about, or the Tom Lang, he was the detective, and then the attorneys about what gets in and what doesn't, the decisions you're making and why, and like it's just complicated. It's like, throw him out, picket signs, fuck him. It's like, okay, all right, you were there, you worked on it,
Yeah.
and maybe it was a total, guy's a billionaire. Maybe he's paying to get out of shit. I don't know, but whatever.
Well, the ones that irk me, though, are judges who just clearly give, like, an unbelievably light sentence.
Yeah.
Like, the person's been convicted. Now sentence him. And it's
Mm-hmm.
just like this slap on the wrist, and you're like, what?
Yeah.
What?
Talking about like the Stanford swimmer kid.
There you go. There's
Yeah.
one.
So he's back in his cell now and being rushed to the hospital. Some people think this was fake. He did it himself because
Yeah.
he's trying to get out so he can go
Trying
to
to get
his
a transfer.
$77 million home. Some people, it was trending today as hashtag Clinton body count.
Oh,
like
Vince
the Clintons-
Foster.
Yeah. Like the bodies are stacking up, have been for decades with the Clinton name attached. And, Clinton definitely had more ties to fucking Jeffrey Epstein than he wants to acknowledge.
Sounds like it.
Dude, it is what it is.
Flight logs and White House logs, right? Show
Yes.
him at the White House quite a lot.
I mean, this guy ended act like, had absolutely no idea anything was. It's like, dude, we've established Clinton is a fucking pussy hound and young pussy, right? He got blown in the White House by a 20-year-old intern. So it's pretty well established what he's into. He stuck a cigar in a 20-year-old intern, right? So it's not that far of a stretch to think that some billionaire could fly him privately on his jet to go party at Whore Island with him, you know, where it's just like hot chicks running around.
Mike,
They're young.
It's Pedophile Island, okay?
It's
Not
pedophile.
Whore Island.
Oh, Pedophile Island. Sorry, my bad. But he's like, oh yeah, man, I think I met him 6 times. Like, who know? You've met him 6 times. You can, yeah, I met him 6 times. Flew on his private jet once. Was at his apartment once. What? Someone you met 6 times? You're at his apartment and on his private jet. Okay, that sounds totally believable. And so, yeah, but he's like, yeah, I met him from like 2002, 2003. Epstein's girlfriend is at Chelsea's wedding. Seems like more of a connection. The one that was securing all the whores for Jeffrey and his buddies.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that girlfriend's in the picture. Well, 2010 when Hillary's walking on Chelsea's walking on the aisle. He went to the White House multiple times in the early days of Clinton's presidency. He says, I only had 6 encounters with the billionaire, man, starting in 2002. Immediately distanced himself when the arrest for sex trafficking happened. The former president was in the White House from 93 to 2001. So you met him in 2002. Huh. He's taken 4 flights on his private jet, visited him, in his New York office apartment on one occasion. The encounters with Epstein occurred from 2002 to 2003. However, they've uncovered that Epstein had links to the Clintons dating back to early in his presidency. $10,000 donation to the White House Historical Association in 93, attended a reception for donors hosted by Bill and Hillary in the White House, listed as a guest for another event with his former girlfriend, the woman accused of helping him run his underage sex ring, blah, blah, blah. A lot of them. So he was also mentioned in a letter in 95 to Clinton by a businesswoman like, oh, yeah, thanks for having us. It was my pleasure. And getting 15 seconds of access to discuss Jeffrey Epstein was great and blah, blah, blah. So sounds like there's a lot more tied in there. So I don't know. So we'll see. Maybe he's getting taken out by the Clintons. Maybe he tried to hang himself in jail. Did you see the cop that's in jail? They're going to bring death penalty charges. They're trying to death penalty.
Not sure.
Drug deal gone wrong, killed 4 people. And they're like, he might have been the one that beat the shit out of. Did you see pictures of that dude?
Like Taglioni or something like that?
Yeah. And he's sitting in jail. Dude's He doesn't even look real.
I know.
He's huge. I mean,
Tom Goris.
ripped,
Yeah.
shredded. I don't want that guy beating me up.
No.
But it's like, how would you even get to him? These guys are in a cell. They're in their personal cells 23 hours a day. This is maximum security.
You know, didn't Hannibal Lecter choke out Miggs somehow?
Yeah, good point. Did he choke out Miggs?
No, I think he made Miggs
came on-
choke himself out. I think he made Miggs kill himself.
Miggs
he manipulated
Wait,
himself.
who did Miggs throw cum on?
Miggs threw cum on Agent Starling.
Jodie Foster.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then Hannibal was pissed about it, so he
Disrespectful.
manipulated Miggs into killing himself.
Really?
Yes.
Son of a bitch. Boy, he is manipulative.
He was.
Yeah, it was a creepy scene when Miggs just tossed nut all over.
That was
from his
shocking.
cell.
I got to tell you, that was.
It was.
What year did I see that?
91,
90. Yeah,
90.
I was shocked. You know.
Yeah, you don't
A
see
young
much
man.
cum tossing going on in
No.
films back then. And
There's Nick Tartaglione.
yeah,
Tags.
What up, Officer Taglione? Tartaglione. Yeah, that guy had to be a cop, right? It's like
Yeah.
a mandate. Look at
There,
that.
yeah, that's the one I saw.
Yeah, just sitting here with my dog. Yeah, it's a little dog. Go ahead, call me a pussy. I don't care.
God, that's like body dysmorphia, right? I mean,
Yeah.
dude, that doesn't look right. Stop.
Yeah.
Stop injecting whatever you're injecting and stop lifting those heavy things. Put them down, man.
Put 'em down, sir.
Put
You've
them
done
down
enough.
and leave them down.
You've done enough lifting of things.
Yeah.
Yeah, just staying healthy. That's what it's all about.
Wow, that's
You've lived-
obsessive, man.
You've overlifted, sir. You need to put them down.
Unless you're in the WWE or something.
Right, that's the thing.
right?
Unless you're a wrestler,
yeah,
or
an
you're
action hero or
right.
something.
If you're just a
Yeah.
dude
You're just a
who's
guy.
at the gym,
Yeah.
those guys he spends. That's a dude who will spend literally like 7 hours at the gym, and he'll have
you have to.
his big water, 1 gallon water jug, and his protein shake, and
Little birdie legs.
yeah.
That's how your little chicks on legs.
Skip leg day, did you?
Do you think he shaved his head just because he liked it like that?
Probably, yeah.
Yeah.
Tags.
He was tired of that flowing long mane of blonde hair, brown hair he had going. Decided, you know what, I'm shaving it off. I'm focusing on the muscles. Yeah.
Getting in the
So-
way.
But that guy, his lawyer's like, no, man, he's like fucking really good friends with Epstein now. I'm like, you know, when is he seeing Epstein?
He's a
So-
quadruple murderer. I mean,
Yeah.
you know, how do you put it past him? I don't know.
Yeah. Anyway, how we doing for email?
We do have some email, Mike. If you'd like to write into the show, send us your thoughts to email@detroitcast.com. So, for example,
Yeah.
if you're out there and you've had in vitro fertilization, you've produced a child via
Sure.
that form of fertilization, and you're pissed about what he said, go ahead and slam him via email.
I'm okay with it.
Mike writes in. He's responding to Mike, Miguel's claim that Yesterday is actually a good movie. So this is Mike responding.
Oh, no.
I heard my email read regarding the movie Yesterday being a bad movie. Mike came at my email with a horrific argument that it was a good movie. Number one, recall him saying, complimenting the movie on these things. Number one, not the typical Hollywood script. Remember saying that?
Sort of, I stand by that.
Number two, no twist in the middle. Like, how's he going to get out of this? There's none of that, you said. Number three, it's not like they need a villain. First, it's literally the exact formula for any romantic comedy, says the right emailer Mike.
Not
It's a
True.
rom-com. I didn't know that.
Which includes an innocent protagonist. The lead guy is some innocent songwriter who's too much of a pussy to make a move on the girl that he's been in love with since grade school. Two, a fire soundtrack. It's the Beatles. No shit, it's fire. Three, the moment. Ed Sheeran shows up at his house unannounced to invite him on a world tour. Yeah, that's not Hollywood at all, says the emailer Mike. Number four, the oblivious comic relief. He invites the biggest dumbass in history to go on tour with him.
I like
Everything
that
the guy
guy.
says and does is corny as fuck.
No. He was best.
Number
He was
five,
all right.
love. He throws away all his glory and fame to win back the girl he's loved since grade school. It's damn near a Hallmark Christmas movie story.
Well, I'm excited to see it now.
Yeah.
Based on his description, I'm in.
You know, if
Not
you're gonna
Mike's.
if you're gonna be negative Nelly all day long, you know, it didn't. What my point was, it didn't need to rely on fucking, you know, pull your tits out, girl, you know, wearing a thong on the beach, you know, to get eyeballs on it. Like, it didn't need to go there. It wasn't sexed up. It wasn't Hollywooded up like that. It relied on the soundtrack. It's a cute story. It's original. You know, the power to
Didn't
the world
sound like
goes
it.
out
Sounded
for
like
like
it was
3 seconds. You know,
I watch
and
a
all of
lot of
sudden-
romantic comedy. I'm going to watch it, Mike, now. I watch a lot of romantic comedies, and I should watch it and tell you what I think, I
Yeah.
suppose. Because
Yeah,
I watch a
feedback.
lot of them.
You should, but you know how in every movie there's that moment in the middle where it's like an ex-boyfriend shows up and he's the shit, but he's a douche, and then girl goes with him, and the guy's heartbroken, and now he's got to fucking figure out how to get her back.
Yeah.
and
The
does in the end.
protagonist.
Yeah, there's not that.
Really, because
I
emailer
don't
Mike
think
says,
that's
in
in
response
there.
to the twist in the middle comment, half the movie is the main character noticing that some people also know the Beatles, and they're tracking him down throughout the movie. He has nightmares about it. One person brings a yellow submarine to a press conference to tweak him out.
All right, you're giving the movie away now, but no. Usually, when the protagonist shows up, he's gonna blackmail you. He's gonna fucking try to end you. He's gonna, you know.
Well, it sounds like these people with knowledge of the Beatles were doing just that, Mike, threatening
wait,
to end him.
You see it, and
Do you still
I stand by the movie.
Do you still contend there is no villain? Because emailer Mike has a comment about that too. His new manager, when he blows up, is the villain. She tries to control him and goes against everything he's about. I don't get how you can even say the movie is without a villain, says Mike.
That's a weak villain. It's a side character that is douchey, and it's funny. She's like, yeah, so we're gonna stick with this look. Oh, okay, no, you know, like she's just trashing him for the way he looks, the way all that stuff.
Also, Mike, if you want to debate movies, I'm down. Sadly, I'm a broke college student who can't afford to become a member of the show. I'm too busy paying for my friends and hitting the CMU bars. But once I graduate this May, I'll become a member and hopefully win a studio visit. Really, I've been enjoying the show as of late, except when you hate on Greek life. Regards, the Mike who pays for his friends. Boy, he's really defensive
Oh
about
boy,
that.
yeah. Now I get it. Now I see why he's got such a sour puss.
Yeah. P.S. I have a working theory that Big E experimented with psychedelic drugs at raves. I've listened for years, and his mindset seems to have really changed since he hit the rave scene. His body high, he claims, maybe something a little stronger.
Yeah, that could be.
That's half true.
Wow, wow. Hi, Mrs. Fady, by the way.
But it's not enough that it's to me, not like 95%
This
of
is
the
your
time.
brain. This is your brain on drugs.
I-
Takes
We've all
one
seen
time.
that.
What I'm-
It's an
Takes
egg. It's
one
like a
time.
fried
Yeah,
egg.
you're a fried egg.
You fried your brain, E.
Dude, you are a scrambled egg now. Your head is a scrambled
Okay,
egg.
sure.
with an overdone yolk.
Very small, overdone yolk.
Tiny. One of those tiny, you open it up and it's like, oh my
where's the
God,
yolk?
it's a tiny little.
It's all white part. Where's the yolk?
Sean writes in concerning Top Gun 2. The movie looks good. I'm betting they give Val Kilmer's character the same cancer and all his scenes are in a hospital bed.
You've already filmed him. They're all shot on hand.
Take him as he will, as he is.
They're all from his personal home collection.
Nice. James also writes in concerning Top Gun 2. An amazing industry-proven Val Kilmer workaround, says James. Legal fees, deadly wheeze, and needs Febreze. Hello and all that shit. I believe Iceman Val Kilmer will have an impactful appearance at any point in the movie. So, like we said, like you got to get rid of him quick, you know, right off the bat. He's going to be helmeted and he's going to go down. Not so, says James. Any part of the movie, flying alongside Maverick before he's shot down and dies. This will be the catalyst for Maverick to get his act together. How, you ask? He will be flying his plane with flight mask covering his mouth, but they can now overdub audio clips of Val Kilmer's voice from any movie he's ever made to fit the short but important scenes.
So we're just getting nose up? Is it what he's saying?
We're just getting like...
we just get like eyes, nose.
Riders on the Storm. Like, why is Iceman singing Riders on the Storm?
You're saying they're going to use like...
People are strange when you're a stranger. People look ugly when you're alone. Women seem wicked when you're unwanted.
Yeah, taking off in one rate too, and then all of a sudden they got him in the air. Women are strange.
When you're strange.
Come on,
No
baby,
one
light my
remembers your
fire.
name.
Come on, baby, light my...
Yeah, I guess they could do that.
End. My only
Leave friend, the end. Yeah, they could totally. James is onto something.
Peace Frog.
This idea came to me. This idea came to me, says James, when I learned that they did the same thing for Don Rickles, the voice of Mr. Potato Head in Toy Story, for the latest movie. They did this. He passed away before production started, so they combed through all of his movies and cobbled together the dialogue they wanted. Keep up the good work. The show's been excellent since the day I started listening. Yours, James.
Thank you, James.
I also had a lot of emails from people reminding us that Val Kilmer was in Heat, which was a cool movie. If you haven't seen Heat, you should. It's like a bank robbery thing. De Niro and Pacino are in it, and there's a great shootout scene.
Really?
Yeah,
Not
people
too long?
harken. The shootout scene?
Yeah.
It's perfect.
Okay.
Like, people harken back all the time. Like, that's the best shootout ever.
Really?
Yeah.
Kind of like they do with the greatest car chase
Chase
scene.
from the Bourne movies.
No, from what's his name? Green Mustang. Steve McQueen.
Oh, right.
Like, driving through the city of San Francisco, the hills, being chased.
Yes, they harken back.
Which there's a lot of copy footage. Looks like you're watching an episode of the Flintstones.
Remember that? We watched it, and you see the same Volkswagen Bug, was it?
Yeah, the same turn.
Yeah.
I've seen that turn 4 times. Why are we doing this?
That happens.
Different times.
Bullet.
By the way, did you see they released the photos of James Dean's accident?
Yeah,
not
dude.
released them, but they're going up for auction.
Yes, that thing was crushed.
That was a Porsche.
Yeah, it was
Not,
a Porsche.
Not a great advertisement for Porsche.
It's like a tin can.
Holy shit, that is an accident.
Yes.
Yep.
Crushed it. Accordion style.
Must have been getting blown by some dude at the time and lost control. But yeah,
Yeah, there it is.
that's not a car anymore.
Wow.
That might be the worst car crash I've ever seen. How do those 2 back tires survive?
What is that at the back end of, like, what is that, a rooster tail on that car?
Yeah,
Look at
looks
that thing.
It does look like a rooster tail, or a
It's just
like a
peeled
Spartan
back.
mask or something.
That's crazy.
All right,
We'll save the rest for next week.
sounds good. Anyone got anything going on this weekend? Exciting? Doing anything?
Think I might.
Really?
I'll let you know.
Let us know. Do we have a little party going on Sunday?
Oh, yeah, we've got listeners in for Twin Peaks, in studio.
Excellent. So that means dinner is served over here.
Yes, sir.
Dinner and drink. So that'll be
She
good.
brings that hangover burger like she promised.
She promised, and also that
know.
pecan pie, right?
Right.
Supposed to bring that over. So,
We'll see.
anyway, have a great weekend, everybody. We'll do it again next week. See you then.
You've been listening to the Detroit Cast with your hosts, Mike and Jay. From all of us at Radio for One Studios, thank you for listening. And as always, thank you, Detroit.
Listen, sugar.